So one question I get asked a lot on driving lessons is, if a bus is at a bus stop, should I be overtaking it? And usually I'll say to my students, what do you think? When you're driving around, your brain is a little bit like a library. Every time you have to make a decision, you consult that library. When you're inexperienced and a new learner, it takes a long time to consult that library. Once you get more experience, you'll be able to consult that brain and make your decisions quicker. Having the theory of what you need to do if there's a bus at a bus stop is important. And if you think about it logically, it's really easy to make your decision. So let's look at it logically. If a bus is at a bus stop, it's either going to have a left indicator on, no indicator on, or a right indicator on. So let's start with the left indicator. If a bus has a left indicator on, it's telling you it's sitting at that stop. And at the moment, it's got no intentions of moving off. So if it's got no intention of moving off, let's look at getting past it. So one thing you could look at it on the left-hand side is see how many people are waiting at the bus stop, because that could give you an indication of how long the bus is going to be sat there. If there are a lot of people at the bus stop, then there's a good chance that bus is going to be sat there a while. If you can't see anybody standing at the bus stop, possibly the last person just got on, or there may be just people getting off the bus. If that is the case, the bus may soon be looking at moving off. Now, if the bus is going to be sat there a while, they may pull into the bus stop, put their handbrake on and take the vehicle out of gear. There's a little clue if they are about to then move off. Because a bus is an automatic, the first thing they would do is put their foot brake down before they put the vehicle back into gear to move off. If you see the foot brake go on, there's a little heads up they may be about to move off. Take a look at this clip. Both vehicles in the bus stops with their left indicator on, right next to a zebra crossing. Not just watching their indicators, you're looking for the crossing as well. So let's look at no signal. If they've got no signal on, well, they've got no intentions to move off at the moment. So let's look at getting past. Exactly the same as if they've got the left indicator on. Have a little look and see how many people are waiting at the bus stop. Now, many years ago, I watched a video clip on the news. It showed a schoolgirl that had got off the bus and was so interested in looking at her mobile phone that she stepped out in front of the bus. CCTV showed her going straight over the bonnet of the car, and luckily she actually got up and walked home. She told the interviewer that she would pay more attention now when she got off the bus and went to cross the road. So while you're negotiating going past the bus, keep a good lookout for anybody that would be silly enough to walk in front of the bus. So let's take a look now at buses that have an indicator on to the right. So if the indicator's on to the right, it wants to come out. So we'll always, if it's safe to do so, allow the bus to pull out. Now, there are some decent bus drivers out there, and a lot of them will check, put their signal on and wait till it's safe to move off. But some bus drivers just start moving off with no signal on whatsoever, and sometimes they'll do that when vehicles are overtaking them. I've witnessed many a car that's been in the process of overtaking and the bus has been moving while they're next to them. Now, it's down to the bus driver to make sure that it's safe to move off, but they don't own those vehicles, and some bus drivers, they're just trying to keep to a tight schedule and they move off without looking properly. And I once witnessed a car that was in the process, started to move out around the bus, was about halfway along, a bit like this car is in this picture. And what happened was the bus started moving and the bus never stopped. It just kept going and the car was out. And if the car had have kept going, it would have just been carrying on the opposite side of the road trying to get past. Now, unfortunately, a car came the other way, and because the bus had no idea that the car was trying to overtake, the car had no choice but to stop, and once the bus had carried on, he tucked back in behind. One thing the car driver could have done was warn the bus of their presence by sounding the horn. Hopefully then the bus might have looked in the mirrors, realised the car was there and stopped. Now, if you're ever unfortunate and you're in this sort of scenario, you're going to have to weigh up at the time what the best thing is to do. But the sounding of a horn is to warn of your presence, and that really is the only way that you're going to tell that bus driver you're there. Now remember, the safe way to move off is use the mirror, signal, manoeuvre routine, but unfortunately some bus drivers use the manoeuvre, signal, then check the mirror. Now when you're following a bus, don't get too close because buses are going to keep stopping at bus stops and moving off, and the closer you get to it, the harder it is to see past it, and then it makes it more difficult to overtake. So in summary, think about their signals if they have them on. Check out how many people are at the bus stop. Think about people that might cross in front of the bus and straight out in front of your car. And obviously make sure that you're keeping an eye on your mirrors to make sure it's safe to move out in the first place. And it's also a good idea to use your signal because it not only tells the people behind that you're intending to go past, but hopefully if the bus driver looks in their mirror, they'll see that you're intending to go round. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, like and subscribe to see some more learner driver videos.